Hello everybody, it's Vanessa here at the Wellness Room. My hair's a little cray-cray, I like it. It's like a bird's nest up there. Top knot bird's nest. Anyway, so I have a little different angle today. Haha. I've got my Zoom people in front and Facebook in front. It's gonna work out. I have a feeling about this. So, I don't know. Let's see. Last week I didn't get to actually re-listen to what we had spoken about, which is fine because life happens and I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna go with a couple things today. So today when I was doing a treatment, a couple people might have seen, hey Phil, I've had this happen before, but I don't normally work with angels. You usually call upon them, and I've done that a few times, but I don't do it on a regular. And I was treating somebody who has breast cancer, and I haven't seen, I've never treated her before, and one of the things that came up was that first I felt like this entity, and I'll talk a little bit about entities so people don't freak out, but basically they're enormous energy fields that are not of this world, so to speak. And usually I'll ask them to join me when I'm going to do like a psychic healing. So they come in and they're really, really big. They're bigger than anything you can kind of imagine. And they're not like a body. They're just huge and energetic. And the psychic surgery part is that they do it really, really fast. So when I do a distant healing, I'll try to explain this to somebody as it's happening. They might feel a lot of pressure and things like that. Anyway, the point of this is that first I saw an energy kind of join us, and then very quickly they acknowledged that this person was being taken care of already and that the angel appeared. So like I said, I don't normally see them. So I felt this one, right away, and then usually when I get a sense of something, I'll feel like a name, or I'll hear a name or something, and I felt like it was Archangel Gabriel. And I guess the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because every Sunday night, you get me at the end of a very long work day generally. So I've been in the office for over 12 hours now. And you're getting almost like some remnants of what I've been experiencing all day, what I've been dealing with all day. And yes, I do massage, but my treatments tend to 90% of the time have a lot of energy work in there. Hey Mary, hey Jeannie. So I think it's fair to share because you're getting my experiences even in the meditation. So when I end up doing a meditation, I'm getting that meditation from somewhere. It's not just from like, oh, I sat down and I decided we're going to be in a field, whatever. No, it's guided somehow from other sources as well. So it's important that you guys understand that, and that you understand a little bit of what I do in my sessions as well. It's many, many years of exposure, experience, guidance from different sources and things like that. And today is no exception. It wasn't an outstanding treatment for me by any means. It was very normal for me. But I thought it was interesting because when I saw this specific angel, I just knew that they had armor on. And like I said, I don't really know the angels that well. I'm familiar, but I don't know them that well. And the reason that this one was important was because it was showing that this female had actually worked alongside many hundreds of years ago with this angel. So I don't know, I just felt like I needed to share that so you guys can get a little bit of a glimpse of what happens in my career. It's interesting to say the least, and it's not made up. It sounds crazy, I know that, but it's just what it is. It's like when you start to touch upon the energy fields, because there are many fields, you get different parts of it, and maybe when you're meditating, you'll access a certain part. Sometimes it feels small, sometimes it feels insignificant. Like I'm not really getting a deep meditation tonight. I'm not really relaxed or whatever. And then sometimes you'll still get the residual effects afterwards, because you don't have to be meditating a certain way. You don't have to experience meditation a certain way to actually have the effects of it. And I know that sounds maybe confusing to some, but the more you do it, I guess the more you understand that. So I know my Zoom friends can respond very easily, like how many of you have had, and you've told me before, but like nights where you're like, I didn't really, I wasn't relaxed, I was distracted, or the dog was there, or I had a long day and I was like anxious about stuff. But maybe the next day, or even in your dreams or whatever it is, suddenly you're like, oh, I have some clarity. I have some feelings about something. And that's what this is all about. It's not like you don't meditate necessarily to find peace or to feel a certain way. We meditate so that we can be connected and find contact with the meaningful parts of life. At least that's what I think. And of course, you'll get peaceful times, and you'll get joyful times, and you'll get all these things, but they don't all come at once necessarily, and they don't all come when you think they're going to come. So you have to be willing to be part of a practice, part of a connection, part of a conscious effort to continue forth, even when it doesn't feel like, you're getting what you think you're supposed to get. I'm seeing a chat message, just one second. Yeah. So somebody I was treating today, I won't mention any names, but they may have been in a super duper high flighty place during session, and they kept talking. They were asking about auras and the layers of it, and some of it was a little nonsensical, and it was pretty funny to us. They kind of felt like their words, not mine. Like, I think this is what being on acid would feel like. So we had an interesting session, to say the least, because they were a little delirious, but that's all part of the process, because you don't know when that's going to happen. So it was fun for them and fun for me, for me to experience how crazy it could be. And Renee, it reminded me of when Renee does acupuncture on me, and I call it like the great rebirth. It's like I have no energy. She does my back, then she needles my back, and then like I'll pass out during that time. And then when she flips me over, she thinks she's gonna give me like the most relaxation. You're gonna fall asleep, I'll give you a break. Hey, Louise. And then suddenly I'm crazy hyper because she's reset me, so to speak. And I feel like she's pressed all these power buttons for me. So I get all delirious. So that's what happened during the session for a very long time. And the person was a little cray-cray, but loving it. So yeah, she was asking about the layers of the aura. Hey, Nessa. Oh, hey, the whole family's doing it, Louise. I'm in for it. So just a little talk about the auric field with this. Your aura is what is not contained within your human form. So I keep joking around about how crazy it sounds. I'm always referring to your human form when you're in meditation, because you're not just your human form. Your soul, your energy field is way bigger than that. And it exceeds time and space, and it travels like can't really comprehend. So when you think of the auric field, it's like that, because your aura comes from within. And if you think you can't contain it, so the aura comes out. So it expands out. And this person was asking about, well, is it in layers? Is it in layers? I'm like, well, it's not necessarily layers. Sometimes it's a combination of everything. Sometimes it's, many different colors in different areas. And sometimes it's really big on people, and sometimes it's really small. It depends on where their vibration is landing at that point, or vibrations, I should say. So anyway, I feel like it's a Q&A day in a sense. So what other interesting questions did I have today? I think I should address cancer. I've had quite a few cancer patients coming to me lately, primarily breast cancer, which is always freaky because I always get worried. I'm like, oh, is there something going on? Why is that happening? And then I get worried about myself, I get worried about family. So I just want to say energetically what cancer feels like. I feel like this might help some people. So cancer itself sometimes will feel like a toxicity in the body, in the energy field, but usually it feels more like a density, which is kind of what it is. It also depends on the quality of the cancer, quality of how it feels. I usually feel more illness in the chemo part or the radiation part, and that doesn't mean that I don't think you should do that. I'm just letting you know what it feels like. But the better answer for all of this is illness. The way I treat illness is the same way I would treat any illness. So at New York College, we were taught an AMA, like an acupressure massage, that was specific for colds and sinus issues. I still use bits and pieces of all of that. I use acupressure in all of my sessions. And we were taught to treat, like basically we would treat unless there was like a fever that's going on or something like that. And in that case, I would tell you to press certain points to help with your fever, and to bring up the coolness, whatever you need. You know, there's different points of that. So in an illness like cancer, it's the same treatment in a sense. And I'm gonna explain that. We're working on higher vibrations. We're working on trying to raise the vibration, because your soul, your energy is all vibratory. And when there's a stagnation of any kind, illness will show. And that includes emotional stagnations. That includes physical stagnations. For example, many years ago, a woman kept bringing in her, I'm saying a woman, but she's a close friend now, kept bringing in her 12-year-old at the time. And she had a bad sinus stuff. And like I said, I would treat her. So bad sinus stuff for weeks. And she came in a third time. And finally I said, you know what? I figured it out. And I'm sorry I didn't think of this before. And she's like, what? I said, no antibiotics will help this. My sessions will only keep her more comfortable. I will, give you suggestions of what else to do at home. But until she had a cast right over here. Until she gets the cast off, she will not resolve fully. And she's like, why? Because the channel, you have your large intestine channel over here, was completely blocked. Renee is going, yes. But, who would have really thought of that, right? But I was like, now I understand, because I was pretty new treating too. It was just blocked. And so now that's a physical blockage. Remember how I spoke when I first started wearing the mask and the face shield and all that stuff? I had a really hard time discharging, and I had a really weird sensations and headaches, which I don't normally get, and all this stuff, because it's a physical blockage. Now, thankfully, I'm able to get through that. A lot of that is due to meditation and this visualization process of how to allow the energies to continue to flow. But it took practice. So it's all a practice, right? So back to cancer again. That vibration is just lower and more stuck and still. So any illness, and this is what I try to say to people, any illness you're going to treat basically, in essence, the same way. We're working to raise the vibration of your whole system, your entire system. Trauma looks like this too. It feels like this too. When I have maybe somebody that Carrie referred, or plenty of my own too, who have had traumas that are still held in the body because they stay there indefinitely. And then they'll come back too, right? How many of you have said, oh, I'm done with that. I got over that. I moved past that, right? And then there's a giant smack in the middle where you're like, oh my gosh, why is this coming up again? Well, the vibration needs to be brought back up, right? We need to resolve it again. We need to figure out some other part of it. And it's the same thing. We keep working again on bringing the vibration up. So when we talk about grounding, I'm giving you a lot tonight. I don't know why, it just is happening. I had a little bit of a chocolate with cacao nibs in it. Maybe that's why. But when it's happening, it can be so distracting to want to fix everything. I feel like crap. I want to fix everything. I'm worried about my health. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And that's what this poor woman was so stuck on today. I really felt for her so hard because of this. She was so cerebral that she was stopping the healing. Anybody ever get like that, where you're just overwhelmed with concern or worry or fear? Everyone's like, yeah, that's me. And what it really does, in essence, it just quelches everything. You don't have a chance to really, you're basically beating yourself up and trying to find these reasons. And I'm saying to you, yeah, let yourself have a little time on that, because you're human. And then go, well, you know what? Forget the reason. This is what's happening. And what do I deal with? Anytime I don't feel well, this is what I do. I go back to that toolbox that I speak of every week. I try my things that make me feel better, which always should include laughing, like always. And people underestimate this constantly. You should be laughing daily, a lot, because that brings your vibration up so much. You should be helping in a way daily, but not in a way that destroys you. It should feel good. And that brings your vibration up. But if you can laugh and love like that, let me tell you, you're gonna feel so good no matter what's going on. And you're going to be able to heal in a way that is so much bigger than what you could have reasoned out. You can't reason out healing. Anybody have a session and like the way you felt better was thinking about it? No, you don't feel better like that. You feel better when you just release. And sometimes that's in the form of crying or being angry and letting it go out instead of holding it back. But generally, you need to have that vibration raised by laughing a bit. And that usually happens after the release. So that's where we're off for now. I'm totally gonna have to rewatch this so I don't keep repeating stories, but it's all good. I had to share that because there is a repeat going on. And when I get people that have certain illnesses, it's really vital for me as a healer to instruct them that the fear, you know, it comes up for everybody. There's never going to be somebody that is super sick and right away is not scared. No, they're going to get scared. And if they're really fortunate, they'll be able to navigate through it and find the support and ask for help. That was another big thing, was the series of these people that came in. All of them had issues asking for help. And I don't just mean like, oh, can you know, little help. I'm talking about like they have.
Was this today?
This one was today, but I've literally had weeks of different people calling me about the same stuff. One had a double mastectomy. Like there's just a lot of it happening right now, but it's the same theme of not knowing how to ask for support, you know. I think everybody has a little bit of that, but caretakers are really big on, you know, I don't know how to let somebody else do my laundry or my dishes. I don't know how to let somebody else take care of my child without interruption. I don't know how to let somebody else even do extra work, right? It's very difficult for caretakers to do that. And that's where the half joke comes in. Jesus, take the wheel. Right, Carrie? We're like, Jesus, take the wheel. Like we're out of control. Like we just gotta like God intervene sometimes.
Oh,
what's up?
Vanessa.
Yes, Bill.
It was full of grace.
Yeah, Hail Mary, full of grace. We were talking about the movie Pecker. It's an old movie, really funny. Anyway, so we're gonna get into our meditation in a few minutes, but I just want to resolve this thing of feeling like, you know, don't ever feel ashamed to ask for support in the way that you need it. Don't ever feel like it's not right or you're not deserving. I'm saying don't ever feel, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to boss you around. I'm trying to help you understand that it's really vital for all of us to connect. In the end, it's all about that connection. There will never be a time that only one of us will ascend to a higher place. We're waiting for all of us. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you to come with us and raise your vibration. We want you to feel good, okay? And when you're caught up in your head and you don't know how to ask or you don't know how to receive, you know, which I deal with, you know, all the time. I have to ask my friends. I have to let them know, like, this is what I'm experiencing. It's really hard for me to vocalize. And I've never had somebody go, I don't want to hear it. Nope, not once. They're like, oh, thanks for, you know, let me see what I could do for you. Can I do this? Never been let down like that. They always want to know. So
I have.
Who's that, Billy?
Brian DiGregorio.
You do ask. You ask me all the time. You're a good friend.
I'm giving an example of when someone's like, nah, I can't.
Yeah.
That was Brian DiGregorio.
Oh, he's called somebody
sense?
out. Don't call him out live. That's not fair.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
He knows it.
He knows it. Yeah, you know, well, not everybody's there yet. That's okay. So wherever you are tonight,
Strong suit.
what's that? Not his strong suit. Hey, I mean,
That's not strong.
but there's plenty of that. Hey, Rob, there's plenty of people that, you know, especially if you're not generally a caretaker, you know, it's shocking to caretakers when somebody else doesn't show up for hospice or somebody else doesn't show up to care for a loved one. It's shocking to us. But I gotta tell you, there are plenty of people that are just not there. They don't necessarily get it, you know, and that just means that there's gonna be a time, either in this life or another, where they're going to be different and they're gonna have to evolve for it. But everybody's at a different place. And it's not easy to have patience for that. But I promise you that, you know, nobody is alone in those feelings, and they do experience it in their own way, and they have a hard time resolving it. So say a prayer for them. Okay, guys, let's relax. Let's let go of all the thoughts of the day. I'm here for you. You're here for me. And we've got this great community going on. I love seeing new names. So if you're ready, just start to close down. So lights are low.
No.
No, Billy says no. He's resistant. He's got puppies in his background now. Okay, everybody's muted except for me. That's very important. And tonight, because I had that angel presence today, I'm going to draw a couple angel cards. So I do have my Archangel Michael cards, but let's go with the Angel Oracle cards, which I've never used before. They were gifted to me, so let's give them a nice shuffle and a tap. So I'll ask you to hold a little space for me as I draw a card for all of us. Never done this before on this meditation thing. But wherever you are, hopefully lying down comfortably, make sure all of your limbs are well supported and your breath is beginning to slow down. And say a little thanks to yourself aloud, just saying thank you for, you know, showing up, giving this time to connect to the breath, to let the mind soar and the soul heal. And as you do that, I'm going to start energizing and doing some symbols. I love that I've come to this place in my life where I am really not afraid to show what I'm doing energetically or spiritually. I love that. So I'm just doing a little energy scan across the cards. Kind of clearing them because, like I said, they were hand-me-downs. So it's interesting when you can contact energy like this, you can actually feel things even across inanimate objects. And these cards have a cooling sensation rising above them pretty definitively. Like I can really feel it like 3 inches above. So I'm not going to go off camera and smudge them, so I'm just going to use some Reiki to clear, and right away that cool energy is turning to some heat. And let's have you do this in your own body. Bringing your palms together, rub them vigorously, really making a nice swishing sound. When you feel complete with that, you're going to tap on your third eye area with your middle finger on your dominant hand. Just keep tapping there. It's going to feel a little annoying at first. And you're going to tap right on your throat. Right on your heart. Right below the break in the ribs on your belly. go down, right on your belly button. Then use both hands and lightly tap on the upper thighs. And the last one you're going to do is you're going to come back up to the crown and give a gentle tap here, really soft, maybe a little circle instead. And then you'll softly push all that energy down towards the feet, clearing out the system. Just so I can actually feel when everybody starts to settle in, so it's pretty cool. I'm drawing my first card. So the colors on this card are pretty cool. I always come back to the Aurora Borealis. It's like a light green here. There's musical notes, and it says, "Now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome." So this kind of goes back to that feeling that, everything's been so chaotic for most of us. And last week we focused on slowing down time. And I used kind of a portal to bring you into a place called the Fertile Void. And if you were there, awesome. And if you weren't, I highly recommend you go back to last week. In this place, there's chance, there's chance for change, there's opportunity, and it's an endless feeling. There's a lot of floating and flying going around, and it is perfect timing, right? Okay. So tonight we're going to dive into the feeling of the Aurora Borealis, and let me guide you there before you start imagining it. First, I want you to find yourself really quickly on a very dark landing. It's right by a big lake. I can see it. And the floor beneath you is pretty flat, but there are lots of rocks. So there's smaller stones and things like that. Fine to be barefoot on if you need to be. And if you're not barefoot, notice what types of shoes you're wearing. Whatever is or is not on your feet, I want you to feel the four corners of your feet go down into the ground pretty heavily. So everything feels pretty rooted into this area, even though you're on rocks. And you get a sense of feeling really grounded and supported here, feeling like you've arrived someplace. And you'll notice that the breath has evened out more. There is energy freely flowing down the backs of your legs, circling around the knees, strengthening around the ankles, dropping deep into the feet. Every time we do a meditation, magic happens, healing happens. And because you have an intention of calling upon it, it happens stronger and stronger every time, more easily, more readily. And tonight is no exception. Now that you've drawn your attention down towards the earth and had these grounding rocks really
I know. It smells like a lot of.
come into you, I want you to feel your fingertips at this point. See if there's any heat coming into this area, into the palms. See if you can get that energy moving. Now, noticing that, just bringing focus to an area will enliven it. So So there's this beautiful energetic ball between both hands now. And as always, if we bring the hands apart from each other and then bring them closer together, you're going to feel a magnetism, a little push and pull action going there. And in your mind's eye tonight, I really want you to focus on seeing this blue and green open and close here. Allow it to open and stretch as you bring your hands farther apart, and feel it condense and combine as you bring your palms closer together. From the palms of your hands, you can take, like your hand becomes a paintbrush, and I want you to take your dominant hand with all this strength and color, and I want you to put it up to the sky in your mind. You're going to notice that a feeling of electricity, a feeling of this energy field is going to get stronger and larger as you do this. And it's going to go up to the sky, it's going to fully expand on the next exhale, and you're going to see yourself painting the aurora borealis right above you. If you don't know what that looks like, just focus on the colors, you're going to see it. They're pretty wild, they move in a wave-like fashion, and they do little spirals here and there, and things just start to move. Remember, magic happens. It happens because you brought the intention there, and it starts to open things up. So here you are painting the sky with your hand. And now you bring your non-dominant hand, and this one is actually more powerful than you realize, because this is the hand that holds everything. It's a receiving hand, and it gathers. So this is your gathering hand. So you can actually play with the energy that you've brought up to the sky. You're bringing it out with the dominant hand, and you're catching it with the other hand. If the mind has started to race because this type of energy builds quickly, you have the option of slowing anything down. By slowing things down, you'll focus on your breath first, so you contact and connect back into the body, and then you'll see the paint go slower. You can slow it down. Time is subjective. We spoke about this last week. So you have that type of control. You can make the circles bigger so that you're down deeper and slower. Or you can use your exhalation, your inhalation, to actually see everything move more slowly. I've drawn another card. Giving and receiving. The entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale, which is giving, or only inhale, which is receiving, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. And that goes just with what we're doing. So you're using your receiving hand, which is your non-dominant, and your dominant hand. And we're going with this same feeling of giving and receiving. They have to be in balance, and this is the perfect time of year to do that, to work on that. It's a time of giving, right? And I think a lot of us are really big givers, and the receiving aspect gets a little lost. So whether or not you're there or the reverse, you're going to, in this meditation, really focus on watching how your dominant hand can control the colors and the lights, and how your receiving hand can really hone in on everything and gather it. Now play some tricks. Remember, this is all magic. So you can draw in the sky. You can make things spiral and go fast. And when you catch it back into that non-dominant hand, when you receive it back, your whole vibration, your whole vibratory system is going to wake up again. So there's going to be some feelings to that rebound. You might get a reverb in your third eye area around the eyes. You might get the top of the crown start to go kind of buzzing, maybe a little bit fiery almost. And then you have to bring it down. So you have to bring it back into the body. So this human form, right, that we keep speaking about is the container, and your feet, the rooting aspect, is the grounding. It's all electrical. It's all absolutely amazing. even your heart, the way it works. It's an electrical system. So there is no mistaking that you are a container of sorts. And here you are playing with the give and the receive, and even the card told us the same. Now, a couple more breaths just to explore the feeling of the giving and receiving hand and the lights that are intertwining here. And then you're going to purposely take a color out. You're going to take a color out with your giving hand, your dominant hand, and you're going to make it really, really tiny and push it into the palm of your non-dominant hand, into the receiving area. This is almost like a soul branding. And this type of branding is absolutely magnificent because you can call upon it at any time after this. So once you get it back into the palm of your non-dominant hand, that receiving hand, like I said, this could feel intense because you're taking a ton of energy in. But remember, all of this energy is pure energy. It's only made from love. There will be no harm done. You just have to be open and allowing to have that receiving occur. So if you've been feeling tired, fatigued, or run down, this meditation is surely going to power you up. So you brand it back into the palm. And then on a day when you really need that extra energy, all you need to do is massage that same area. Close your eyes. Visualize all these colors in the same meditation. It will happen over a few seconds. And you'll see the power up will happen. Okay, so now that you've had this non-dominant hand revived, you're just going to let it rest. Okay, so let it come by your side. Keep the palm facing up towards the sky. And you might still feel work happening to it. Okay, so we've invited different energy sources, a variety of energy sources. I've done it for you to help. And now they're here and they're putting it right into that palm. So you might feel a big ball of energy there. It might still not be absorbed. Your hands might feel tingly, so may the rest of your body. Now we know that the circulatory system, red blood, right? And we know when it's deprived of oxygen, it's blue internally. Now you're going to get a visualization of this energy system works in the same type of fashion. So all those colors are actually being pulled into the body. So you can give it a little bit of help. And you're going to use your dominant hand to, it feels like you're, I don't really want you to look, but it feels like you're taking your index and your thumb on your dominant hand and pulling it down through the veins. Don't worry, I'll bring you back to the open meditation in a few breaths, but I want you to really feel that being pulled into the body. Your arm, your fingers, parts of your body might start to twitch. This is an alignment that you've possibly never experienced before. And many of my clients, when they get a big energy push, they have plenty of bodily adjustments and things. Twitch or flail, quite normal. So you bring it in. Absolutely amazing. When that feels complete, let's bring our attention back into that area. This visualization of grandness again. Whenever we talk about enlarging the field of energy, whenever I bring you into a big solid place with darkness and then light, there's a feeling of that vastness that I like to speak about, because way larger than our human form is the energetic fields that we can contact and connect with. So now we're back in this place where the ground has little stones, some bigger than others, but you can still comfortably be barefoot if you need to be. And you ground back in. And now you're going to just bring your hands by your side, both in your meditation and both in real life. Just letting both palms be up and the chest be open. And you might feel a difference in the sides. Maybe your non-dominant side feels heavier or lighter, just notice. Awesome. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start to walk around that lake. Remember, I had you standing at the edge of a lake. And as you walk, I want you to focus on feeling the heel to toe pressure go on each foot. Really, really slow walking. And if you're barefoot, I really want you to spread out the toes and feel each part of the foot kind of climb onto those stones. And now we're going to give the mind an opportunity to wander here, and we'll allow some sounds to enter. So here you can take note of any sounds coming around you. So as you're keeping that slow walk going, I drew the last and final card. Time to go. Same theme. The sun sets and rises each day, and it's the same with the avenues in your life. See the beauty within each sunset in your life, and know that the sun will also rise again tomorrow. Endings are merely the start of a new beginning, and we are with you through each phase and cycle. That's, of course, the angels talking to us, letting us know. All in timing, giving and receiving, and time to go. And particularly as we're at the end of this year, focusing on better things ahead of us, one also must remember to not be scared of being present. No matter what's happening, you're not alone. And as you walk across this path in your meditation around this lake, listening to whatever sounds arrive, there's going to be multiple people or energies joining you. Some you may know, some you may miss, and some may be new. And all of them will have your good intentions in heart. So invite. This is the time to invite. The more the merrier. Here there are no restrictions on who can come or how many people can come. They're all here for you, and they're waiting for you to explore with them. So you'll take these breaths now, and you'll invite. For me, just thinking about that invitation and opening up for that makes me a little teary-eyed, thinking that this is a really wonderful, safe place that we've created together and that all can come. This is a place of only healing. There is no room for fear because the love is so strong. So over these last few minutes in this meditation, really have a very strong connection to the energies and people that you've invited. Notice if you feel the need to speak or if you just need to be there with each other. Now focusing on bringing the breath in for everyone. So it's very easy to think that when I take a breath, I take it for me. And when I exhale for me. But it's just as easy if you think in terms of connectedness, that if I take a breath, I can take it for you too. And if I release, I can let go for you too. And in this place where we are tonight, finding this sensation of connectedness with all those we've invited, and all those who we will invite for future meditations, and all those we'll invite to share our other practices, all the practices of love and light. It's really important to remember that I don't breathe just for me. I breathe for you. I breathe to hold space for you. I breathe to grieve with you. I breathe for hope. And because we do this practice of raising our vibrations, because we do that, because when our faith is wavering, we ask for support, ask for help, you will always receive it. So take that breath in, remembering that you're breathing for me too. Allow it to be the deepest breath of the day, expanding across the whole chest, enlivening the heart, the shoulders. And when you're ready to exhale, allow the whole body to unwind and release into the back. Whatever is supporting you, let it take the weight of your whole body. Let it take the weight. Now remember, you've invited amazing energies into you. And it will take your body some time to adjust back to feeling stronger and feeling whole. But it happens very quickly, and the more you do it, the easier it will be to contact. So take all those lights, take your giving and your receiving, bring it back into the body. Allow any twitching, any tingling, any warmth or chill to just go down towards the feet. And when you need that extra grounding, so you can feel connected to the earth, think of the stones, the rocks, the roots, the dirt. And then take another breath. So my friends, new and old, who have joined us tonight, my name is Vanessa Meyer, and if you want to see more of this, you can go on my Instagram, Vanessa M, Meyer LLC, same on Facebook. Follow the page, and you can look for new and old meditations alike, and become more and more part of our community. If you would like to stay on and just hear us chat, maybe I'll start it. No, I'll keep on this one and stay in chat for a few. We're here. Otherwise, just log off tonight. I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Namaste. So as we go back to my friends, it's going to get a little loud again. We'll try to go slow. So everybody's coming out of meditation. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I don't know who's sending, but I appreciate it. Okay, and we'll discuss for a little while what you experienced. I saw those hearts are from Kim. Thanks, Kimberly. I'm just gonna lower the volume on my Zoom peeps. Thanks, Louise. Now you look a little groggy. So I love how the cards are like ridiculously perfect.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, just so silly. I've never used those cards before. I'm really grateful that I'm able to clear and do things quickly like that, so that's great. It's interesting, in these cards they don't have specific angel names, they just say like, we're all here for you. Like, okay, cool. So, does anybody feel like sharing, or you just want to be quiet? I'm good with both. Okay, nobody wants to volunteer. That's fine. It's all good. Okay, if you guys are in quiet mode, I'm only going to stay on for a couple minutes.
I really am.
That's fine. That's really what it could, should, would be like, right?
Yeah.
So my recommendation is always, like, especially when we do a meditation that brings us into taking and controlling energy like that, I always recommend, like, it's the time to rest afterwards. So either taking a bath or just going to bed early and drinking plenty of water before that. This is the time to do that, because you're gonna have to change things. Hey Elise, you're seeing us at the end. Oh. Yeah, you have to adjust. So your cells actually will get a big rejuvenation from this for sure. Thanks, Kim. That's really sweet. So beautiful in every sense. Oh, I love you. And I think the most wonderful thing about talking about my experience and then leading in a meditation like that is, I mean, I really do feel you guys. Like, it's pretty cool. I can feel when everybody settles in. I can also feel when things get interrupted, and that's fine too. But it's just cool. Really, really cool. So I'm going to keep you guys in a really soft place. I want you to enjoy it. And I've been here for many, many hours, so I should probably go home and take care of myself as well. All right. I love you guys. Elise, I highly recommend you go back and rewatch tonight, and we can talk during the week. Okay? I'll give you all kisses. Bye.